Hello, I'm Lugatorix and welcome to part 2 of the Antioch hot seat for Medieval 2 Total War Kingdoms. The hot seat where I'm playing alongside other YouTubers such as Historical Gameplay who's playing as the Seljuk Turks, ADG Reviews playing as the Kingdom of Jerusalem, Your Total War Master who's playing as Egypt, and Shattered Reaper who's playing as Byzantium, and also Melkor is basically the guy running this whole thing and he's doing a time lapse and all of that. So a lot of talented guys out there who are currently doing a bit better than me. Just to summarise last time, as I said, I had some very, very valid excuses as to why things might not go so well. And those excuses were well founded because guess what? Things didn't go well. The Seljuk Turks were very, very aggressive, stormed into our territory, took Malatya, Diyarbakir, whatever the hell the other ones are, and well basically we have managed to keep hold of our core empire. You can see on the map we still have Antioch, Crack the Chevaliers, what's the other one called, Aleppo, I think it's Aleppo, stuff like that, Homs. We still have all of that, and we've also decided to make a sort of another empire to the north of Seljuks. This is what I call the backup empire. So we're going for Theodosiopolis nice and early on here, because just in case things go badly in the core empire, then we can take some rubbish villages in the north and hold out there for a while. But it's alright. I have confidence that our homeland is going to be secure. So let's see how things unfolded. And yeah, I have no excuses for this. I'm sorry for what you're about to see. So we start off in turn 7, which, as I said, we have an army outside Theodosiopolis, and we have another army that's a little bit more to the east, and they're going towards, I think it's Yerevan that's up there. So as I said, these are nice rebel territories that we can take easily, and then what I'm hoping to do is we'll have some territory to the north of the Seljuks, we'll have some territory to the south of the Seljuks, and we'll be able to sort of sandwich them in between our two empires and destroy them once and for all. That's what I'm hoping. So Prince Reynold is going up there to try and find Armenia, basically. Now Theodosiopolis, I believe we can take now. Captain Abi's army is a bunch of cavalry, some not amazing looking infantry, yeah, desert cavalry, Turkish archers, town militia, spear militia and Turkomans, so nothing too amazing. We have some really, really good quality cavalry. We only have one unit of infantry though, and that is what they call pilgrims or something. So yeah, pilgrims. And so if the ram gets caught on fire, which, well, you know my luck in various campaigns, that my rams are extremely flammable, so yeah, there could be problems here. So we've got some guys moving into Homs to deal with all that stuff. We're going to pick up some Crusader Sergeants, it looks like, as well, maybe. We're just trying to defend it for our lives, because damn, things have not gone quite so well, but you know, we'll try and deal with it. In fact, no, I remember what we're doing now. We're actually moving some armies out. We're trying to go and take some vulnerable territories off the Seljuks. Take the attack to the Seljuks. So actually we are moving out of Homs, moving out of Homs with Roger the Crusader to move towards Raqqa. And Raqqa looks pretty weak. So I think we will have a pretty good chance of taking that, hopefully, as well. And then we've got another army of Volo de Dijon moving over. Now, Barthélemy de Valence is a new guy that's going to join the crew, maybe, I don't know. I recorded this quite a while ago, so I cannot exactly remember what, you know, I chose to do. But yes, we do accept him. And guess what happens? Antioch, we haven't got Antioch. Yeah, did they put it under siege? I don't remember this happening. They must have had like 1 billion spies, infiltrated the city, and somehow managed to take it. So, wait a minute. We are the Principality of Antioch, but we don't have Antioch. So that's a little bit awkward, a little bit embarrassing. That it's like, how does that happen? We don't have Antioch. Oh my goodness. Okay, anyway, more important things are Theodosiopolis. Definitely, that's far more important than Antioch. Yeah, basically the Seljuks took Antioch off of us, which is very, very bad. It was our capital. As I said at the beginning, we want to consolidate our homeland. Instead, we're going up and we're taking rubbish villages in the north. Brilliant. Roger the Crusader is moving further into Seljuk territory though. I don't think we're going to be able to take Antioch back immediately. I would rather weaken them, because look, he's pouring troops out of Edessa and Raqqa and all of that to move over to my settlement, so we can maybe sneak around the back and try and take a couple of settlements off of him. That would be nice. So Captain Aubert is now going to finally fight Captain Lajin of the rebels. Let's see if we can take Theodosiopolis off the Armenian rebels. And here we are. So Not amazing walls, nothing too, spectacular. I don't think that's anything too amazing. I think we should be able to do a pretty good job here. And there are our pilgrims holding the ram, beautiful. And here we are at the front gate. Now the reason I actually waited a turn to attack Theodosiopolis is I wanted 2 rams as a backup. Because you know one of them's going to get set on fire. You just know. If you've seen my channel before, you just know one of them's going to be set on fire. And also, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one of the rams going around the other side, so we can kind of split our force into 2 and split the enemy force into 2 as well, should aid us in this fight. So we're going to have some of the cavalry around the front, and then some of the cavalry and the pilgrims around the other side over here, attacking the rebels. And you can see the rebels, they are pretty much retreating to the plaza straight away. I think there are some guys over on the other side because you can see a lot of firepower over there. And they're doing a good job in the distance. So things aren't going quite so well on the other side. But on this side, there is some town militia on the ground. Yeah, I'm more concerned about this side. Some guys up on the walls, probably archers firing, and then some spear militia on the ground. The pilgrims have basically no defense, and they're also hitting my cavalry, which I've very poorly put in a position where they are in range of the archers. Idiot. Yeah, I finally moved them away. A little bit too little too late maybe, but at least the ram didn't get caught on fire, so I suppose that's a good thing. So finally this gate is open. We've already taken quite a few losses, which yeah, isn't exactly ideal. The spearmen are moving back. The pilgrims, well, that would be very stupid if I do attack the spear militia. Pilgrims, as I said, not amazing. Now the cavalry, quite a bit better though. The cavalry is quite good. Than the Knights of Antioch, I think they are, something like that. Pretty decent guys. Now the pilgrims are just suffering. I mean, they're just, who comes into a battle wearing a bathrobe? Crazy stuff. But the cav is what is going to hopefully, sort of save the day. Now, admittedly, most of their force is spearmen, so maybe that isn't the most clever idea, but we haven't got a lot of choice. We literally have no good infantry. We have no even half decent infantry. Pilgrims are just, they're crusading troops more than anything, and we're not on crusades, so there we go. Now what I'm planning to do is sandwich the units of militia, or just charge straight into them like these guys are doing. Yeah, get out of there guys, get out of there, we don't want to see that, but just sandwich them. We have a lot of cavalry and they can do a lot of damage. Now cavalry isn't great inside city streets, as you can see here. Very poor pathfinding. They struggle a lot. And it's, tight city streets. It's not where the cav is best suited. In the end, I give up and just say, look, just charge into these town militia. If you are really going to just storm into them anyway, regardless of what I wanted you to do, then just do it and just take them down, damn it. Okay, so they seem to be backing off. They're not having such a good day of it. And eventually they break. There we go, beautiful. We have some cav on the plaza. That's Turkomans though. Turkomans not amazing in melee combat. They are missile cavalry, of course, so nothing too difficult there. Again, desert cavalry, they're missile cavalry. They shouldn't be able to do anything against our good Antioch heavy cavalry, which is good. I can't believe we haven't got Antioch. I cannot call myself the Principality of Antioch anymore. We're the Principality of not Antioch. Everything but Antioch. In fact, not even everything but Antioch, because we have pretty much nothing else. This is embarrassing. Anyway, their captain goes down. We really do need to retake Antioch. That's crazy. Anyway, enemy general fallen. And that was some captain. Didn't even bother to read his name. His name is irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant. And yeah, as you just saw just then, we have taken a fair few losses so far. So that's not great. But we should be doing well against the missile cavalry, I hope. And now actually we're getting my cavalry to move around the side. We want to sandwich the lads on the plaza, attack them from both sides. That would be beautiful if we could do that. But this is a bit of a sort of meat grinder at the moment. But we do have the better cavalry, it's just they have the better infantry. So really this is a battle of cav versus infantry. In a city, I would prefer the infantry. So they do have the advantage, and the balance of power suggests so as well. So not 100% ideal. Right, the desert cavalry over here finally broken, so I'm getting the cav and the pilgrims that have just joined the party, because why the hell not, to run around the side of the city so that they can get the good decisive charge in at the end. It's looking a little bit more even now. We've taken out their missile cav, but they're meant to be coming down this street. That would be perfect if they could do that. Wonderful. And yeah, it's very important that we manage to surround those spear militia. The Turkish archers, not too afraid of them. The Turkomans are wavering, more missile cavalry. The missile units don't stand a chance. It's the spearmen that are the only unit that can hold the day, really, at this point. So we've got my cav going towards the Turkish archers. They should be having a pretty rough day. Last time I struggled to say Turkish archers. This time I seem to be doing alright. Maybe I'm just less tired, who knows. But they're going to be doing a job just grinding down those guys. The spearmen not getting involved at all, which is fair enough. Now we've got a ton of cavalry against those Turkish archers. Still not going down though. They're wavering. They've been wavering for a while. Then they eventually break. Beautiful. That's what we like to see. They're going onto the plaza, and now is the moment where we should be doing this big double charge on the spearmen. The spearmen can only point their spears in one direction realistically. So if we charge them from both sides, then okay, they might do a bit of damage to one lot of cav, but they won't be able to do a huge amount to the rest, which is exactly what we want to see. As you saw there, we've lost a lot of men, 57% of our army to 60-something% of theirs, but you know, we have lost way too many men doing this. I am aware of that. Admittedly, a fair amount of them actually were the pilgrims, which are basically rubbish and very, very replaceable, so it's not the end of the world, but still, we are now kind of engaged with the spear militia. Really, we need to get the other guys around the side of them now, because we're basically charging headfirst into spearmen. Yeah, that's it. They've completely committed now, so we need to get into the back, into the side, completely surround them, and when they're surrounded, they will hopefully struggle. I would imagine so. That's what I'm hoping. But I do really much fancy our chances now. I want to get some of the units around the back probably. That would be a nice idea. They are wavering, but they're on the plaza, so they have that infinite morale boost. But get some of these guys around the back, and it should just be a meat grinder getting them down. There we go. They are nearly pretty much surrounded now. The balance of power is still, you know, it's in our favour, but it's not a huge amount in our favour. They could still hold out here, and really all they need is for 1 or 2 units of mine to break, and you could get a mass rout on their hands. But still, as you saw there, 78% of them are gone. They really are relying on their spearmen now, and spearmen should have probably got involved earlier, particularly at the front gates where we were funneling through one tight area. Instead, they've managed to get themselves isolated in a situation where there are many points that we can take advantage of around them, and now it's the last few of them, but still, our units are very, very battered. So, you know, it wouldn't take a huge amount for us to actually go down here and lose the fight. 76% to 89, so, you know, 90 now, 91. So, you know, the majority of the force is gone, but we've lost nearly 80% of our men. So we are going to win this, but we've taken a lot of casualties in the process, and there's not a lot of men left to defend Theodosiopolis in case the Seljuks come over, or to actually keep it happy as a garrison. So there's no guarantee we're going to be able to keep this place. This could have all been for nothing. Maybe these troops should have been down in Antioch after all. Either way, it's a close victory. We lost 411 men, they lost 474. All right stuff, it's acceptable. And there we go, Theodosiopolis falls into our hands. Nice stuff. There we go. I will almost certainly sack it. Yes, I do. We've got a bit more money now. Not a huge amount, but a bit more. The Council of Nobles. This is good, though. That's good. So the Council of Nobles has given us 6 Turkopoles, which are like missile Turkish guys, cavalry. So that's good. Now, as I said, public order very, very low. So we need to get a priest up there. It's only 3% Catholicism. So Guillaume de Luches needs to move down. We've got spies moving into the proper Middle East. As I said, I wanted to bring the army of Prince Reynold, I think his name is. No, Roger the Crusader, rather. Around into the sort of Turkish heartlands. If they're really pouring into our territory, then we can skirt around the back, take some of their territory. That's what I'm hoping for. Anyway, you know, I don't know, but that's what I'm hoping for. Yerevan is under siege. It's now turn 8, by the way. Yerevan is under siege by not a very big force. That could be another tough fight. Rebels are quite tough in Medieval too. And now we're going on to turn 9. Henry Arnold, 85, 25 years old. He looks alright. Egypt says, how's it going versus Turks? Do you need help? Do you need help is an understatement, my friend. We do not have Antioch. Help is needed. Yes, I need every bit of help I can get, I say. Thanks. I don't even have Antioch anymore. Lol. I'm sure those are exactly the kind of messages that generals and kings sent to each other, by the way, in those days. Yeah, I'm sure. So, the Egyptians, who are, of course, the same religion as the Seljuks, but maybe still wanted to help us because he'd rather keep... Mr. Your Total War Master would rather keep weak enemies on the field like me than stronger ones like the Seljuks. The Seljuks are sort of a common enemy at this point, so maybe he could help me. That would be nice. We've set up on the bridge outside of Raqqa. Hopefully the Turks won't be able to defeat that, and we're going to do a very, very similar thing. pour the men out of Homs and crack the Chevaliers while we still can, and go for the homeland. And this doesn't mean that we're forfeiting. Oh, by the way, yeah, you can see we lost Aleppo, just right of Antioch. Yeah, the Turks are swarming us. Now, this isn't an evacuation. I am not giving up crack the Chevaliers or Homs. That's not my point. What my point is just try and take advantage of the Turks' homeland being weak while we can, and then just recruit like crazy in our homeland in crack the Chevaliers and Homs, and try and keep them and launch a counterattack against Antioch and Aleppo that we lost. So I'm not forfeiting these territories. I do not anticipate that I'm going to lose them, but I still want to have basically two very strong armies in the Seljuk region. That should make them rethink trying to go for crack the Chevaliers. We want to have that sort of dilemma for them. So we are going to move towards that region with Regent Bethlemi. And he's going to be moving over there. We still have a decent force in crack the Chevaliers and Homs. Crack the Chevaliers is a fortress or something like that, so it has some pretty good walls as well, which is good stuff. So, Yerevan, I think it's now time to take that. We have 2 rams, and we're going to be doing something very, very similar, I think. Captain something, I'm not even going to try and say that name. Turkish archers, town militia, spear militia, and some Turkmens. Pretty similar force to Theodosiopolis. Probably going to be a relatively similar battle, but this time we don't have a lot of cavalry, but we have a lot of infantry. Not amazing infantry, but infantry nonetheless. So I think this should be slightly easier than the previous battle. And here we are, of course, in Yerevan, modern day Armenia. The Caucasus Mountains in the distance there, looking rather white. I don't know if they look quite that white in real life. I'm not sure if they're quite that triangular either, but I haven't actually been to Armenia, so I don't know. So I'm doing a similar thing where I am having half the army at the front, half the army at the side, and that's good for 2 reasons. Like I said, it splits the force up, the enemy force up, which means that they don't have quite as many archers at some positions. We can take advantage of weak points, but it also means by the end of the battle we can sandwich them on the plaza like we did last time and take out what would have been a pretty difficult unit. The spearmen was last time, but because we surrounded them, it wasn't too difficult, so this should be alright. And actually the balanced power looks a lot more in our favour now we're physically in the battle. Now of course this will only work if the ram doesn't get caught on fire, but I think we're going to be lucky today actually, and the ram is safe on that side anyway. On this side, are we as lucky? There's a lot of firepower over there. That's a crazy amount of firepower. Some nice windmills over there, by the way, which is nothing like this place, but there we go. The spear militia have actually come out of the city. They've been very, very aggressive. They've attacked the Edessan squires, I believe they are. So we need to pour them in forward and try and take advantage of this and have 4 or 5 units versus 1. They've been ultra aggressive, very, very stupid, because the spearmen could have guarded the entrance and had a sort of choke point against us, but instead they forfeited that choke point, which is very stupid. On this side, it's mostly missile cavalry, which we have spearmen and good heavy, well, alright heavy infantry to go and deal with them, so they're going to have a tough time in the melee as well. So some pretty odd decisions by the AI so far. The archers can just fire on whatever though. So back over on this side, and we've got the troops pouring in against the spearmen. We've got some guys coming around the side as well, and they're only steady now. I think we're eager, we're fresh, we're ready to fight, we're ready to kill these damn rebels and take their settlement. It's nice that we're building a little bit of an empire in the north though, because flipping hell, we need it at this point. We need it. We need all the settlements we can, we need all the money we can, and hopefully we can use this as a launch pad to actually descend from the north into the Seljuk territory, which would be nice. Now some archers are firing into us, so I think we need to be more aggressive and get in the city and sort them out. Because as I say, we've got the far, far superior melee advantage. They've got the better missile advantage. So there we go, and the better cavalry. Spearmen are holding out well here, but not as well as if they had been a couple of meters back, so a bit of an odd decision on their part. We have moved into the city though. The Edessan squires are fighting the Turkish archers. They're shaken. Our archers and the other Edessan squires are trying to get in as well on the action, which is nice. Once our faction leader gets involved, it's game over for those Turkish archers, I'm afraid, for them. Game over. Alright, so these guys finally look like they've defeated the spearmen, which is beautiful, on the other side. So they're now going to get involved against the Turkish archers. That'll be good. And the faction leader is trying to get around the side. Good stuff. So 4% to 23%, not too bad. We actually haven't killed that many of them yet. There's still a lot of geezers on the plaza, but not very good melee people, so I think we should have the advantage here. I mean, these archers have held out for a very long time though. Credit to them. And the Turkmens are getting involved now as backup. So we can fire on them. They haven't got amazing defense, and then these guys can hit them around the side if necessary. So yeah, we are now going to charge through the side. I'm sick of these Turkish archers. They're still around. Ridiculous they've held out for this long. Absolute madness. So the cav is just going to absolutely destroy them. We have some troops actually over on the on this gate, which is interesting. What are they exactly? Some sort of missile cav, I think. Yeah, Turkmens. So my general will be able to completely storm over them. That's a stupid position for them to be in. That charge managed to break them. We've got Arab cavalry over here, but Arab cavalry against spearmen and Edessan squires, they're not going to have a particularly good job because they're light cavalry. They're not really meant for that long slugging match. Same goes for the Turkmens over here. Those Turkmens are broken. They're going to the plaza so we can chase them down, and then these Arab cavalry stand no chance. My general, you can see at the bottom there, has engaged with the Turkmens. I'm guessing they were Turkmens on the other side and probably have chased them off. And the battle's very, very much in our favour now. We're trying to sandwich these last few Arab cavalry just to get them broken, but really the majority of troops have retreated to the plaza. The king is in a good place to charge him from the side or the back as well, actually, so we can get that sort of pincer movement, trap them from both sides, which would be lovely stuff. And yeah, you can see those guys are broken there. So now we can get into a good position. One charge in from over this side. What we got on the plaza, Turkish archers, which actually held out pretty well earlier, but they've just not got a lot of hitting power. Still some spear militia, probably the same unit that was actually at the wall originally that got away, but that's fine. We can hit them with the missiles, we can hit them in the melee, and then we can hit them in the back with the king. 9% to 53%. This battle's going a lot better actually. I'm much happier with how proceedings have gone so far, and the king is now moving towards the plaza. I think he's the king. He's the faction leader anyway. I'll call him the king. Why the hell not? Doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, you guys start getting around the side. Start, swarming the plaza as much as you can from as many angles as you can. And as you saw last battle, won't end well for the rebels. So now it's time to deal with the town militia, the remaining spear militia, and the Turkmens. I think the king really needs to start getting in there now. Come on, mate. Just get in the back of those Turkmens. That's it. Get them down, because they're firing missiles. The spearmen, some of the spearmen are stuck at the back. There's a bit of a backlog, but their captain does indeed go down, which is lovely stuff. That's what we like to see. They're having a rough old time of it. Enemy general fallen. Good. And then, yeah, this is pretty much the end. They are completely surrounded now. The charge into the back is going to hurt those Turkmens like crazy. And pretty good stuff, actually. Pretty good stuff. So basically nothing left. We have swarmed them from all sides. And the plaza is actually now ours. We've pushed them off their own plaza, which is a bit embarrassing for them. But we've had worse embarrassments this campaign, let's be honest. 17% to 98%. Much, much better battle this one. Much better. And like I said, this is the difference between having infantry and cavalry. So we lost 139 men. They lost nearly 600. Good stuff. Much, much better. Very, very happy with that result. But yeah, that's why you bring infantry to a siege and not cavalry. But I didn't have a lot of choice last time. I had to use what I had, and that's what I had. So Yerevan is now ours, and we now have a bit more territory. We're losing territory, but we're also gaining it as well. So we have a very, very fragmented empire, which is not great. We're going to sack the settlement, get a little bit more money. We don't have a lot of money, though, at all. So it's a little bit worrying, in fact. And we can't recruit here either. There's no recruitment. So Prince Reynold is very, very good. He's got a lot of dread, but there we go. Right. Turn 10, and you can see we've lost another settlement. We have lost, what is it called? Homs we've lost. That was our first settlement we took in the campaign. We've lost it now. So all we have left is Crac des Chevaliers, which is not looking so good, and the settlements in the north that we've recently taken. Now, we could go back to Crac des Chevaliers, but I think that's a pretty much lost cause at this point. Instead, I think it's better if Regent Bethlemi, or whatever his name is, and moves out with this big old force of cavalry. I mean, that's going to be really tough to defeat, actually. The Hospitalier Sergeant, I think, are probably going to go back to Crac des Chevaliers, though. They would be quite useful. But that, historical gameplay's got some pretty good victory so far. But dealing with that big old army, 2 generals, a lot of good cavalry, a lot of missile cavalry, which is a bit cheesy. I think that'll be a little bit difficult for them to deal with. But we're going to recruit some infantry in Crac des Chevaliers, bring the spearmen back to Crac des Chevaliers, and just try and hold on for dear life, because that is our only stronghold in the Middle East now. That's it. That's all we've got. There are no mercenaries that we can afford, so we have to keep moving, and there we go. Roger the Crusader, is he going to keep moving, or is he going going to decide to stay on the bridge. Who knows? We'll never find out, I guess. So now we're moving out of Yerevan. And we want to take more territory in the north because these are backup settlements. Like I said, if we lose all our settlements, we're out of the campaign, which is not exactly great. So, we don't want to be the first one to completely get extinct. That wouldn't be great. But Yerevan having a bit of public order issues because this area is not Catholic, it's Muslim. So Prince Reynold is moving up north, and I believe the settlement up here is called Tbilisi, I think, which is modern-day Georgia. Yeah, that would make geographical sense. So he's moving up to Tbilisi to take that. That's the final one up in the north, or the Caucasus regions. So he's trying to take that, but as you can see, things aren't looking too great. What I would like to draw attention to, though, is we have won. We have won 3 battles, and we have lost 14. Now, that sounds very, very bad, but actually, that includes the AI battles. Battles I have fought, I believe, we have won 3 and lost 1. So I personally have a 3-1 record, but the AI has a 0-13 record. That's hot seats for you. Anyway, on to turn 11. We are last in every single position. By this point, by the way, ADG Reviews playing as Jerusalem is out of the campaign. Yeah, he called his settlement, I need help. He didn't get that help because I was as screwed as he was. And talking of being screwed, yet the Seljuks took Krakta Chevalier. So well done. Historical gameplay did a good job. And now this area is completely Muslim. The Egyptians are now bordering the Seljuk Turks. At least I didn't finish last. I had a disastrous campaign, but I didn't finish last. Now, we have 2 armies. What I've decided is, historical gameplay is doing so damn well. Like, ridiculously well. That the only thing I can do is have these 2 full stack armies next to each other. And surely he will not be able to defeat them. Because if he attacks one, they'll both be involved. That's going to be my plan. Just try and get these armies, and my target is Mosul. Because I believe it is a citadel, it's basically empty. If we can take that, we can recruit some troops and then launch the counterattack. And it's also nearer our settlements in the north. Tbilisi, by the way, we're putting under siege with the prince. So, man, that's what I'm hoping for. Trying to take Mosul. 2 big armies. There's no way historical gameplay is going to be able to take that in a million years. He's good, he's not that good, alright? He's not going to be able to take that. Anyway, Tbilisi, as I said, we're going to put it under siege, and that means that we have more settlements. So we're basically rebuilding the empire in Armenia. We randomly have this army up here, and I don't know what to do with it. So I'm like, well, screw it, let's just see what's at Antioch. And we've attacked Antioch. Because, screw it, look, if this army's gonna die in a blaze of fire, then it might as well go out taking the settlement that is dearest to my heart, Antioch. We're trying to find the Seljuks, and we're trying to sue for peace at this point, because we are really screwed. We are really screwed. Now, I know we did just attack Antioch, but I'll explain that in a second. So, yeah, I'm like, dude, let's have a ceasefire. I was talking to historical gameplay about this, and he was like, well, you could have just asked for a ceasefire a long time ago. Which, if I'd known, I probably would have done. But anyway, yeah. Our power is weak. His power is supreme. So, we don't have a lot to offer him. I can't offer him money. I can't offer him territory. We have none of that stuff. All I can do is offer him a ceasefire, and I'm going to send him a little message as well, basically begging him for a ceasefire, and, saying, look, I'll probably help you or something. So, we'll see what I write. Yo, man, do you want peace? Very professional. I'm cool with setting up the Armenian Empire in the north, and leaving you alone to face Egypt. I would offer you something, but I'm broke, so sorry. Oh, and also put Antioch under siege, but I'm cool with moving that army away if you agree, thanks. And also, if you agree, is it cool if my 2 big armies currently in Raqqa move north through your territory because they're kind of stuck there at the moment? So basically what I'm saying to him is, I will leave you the hell alone. Let me have a little empire in the north. You need to focus on Egypt, man. Okay, so you focus on Egypt. Don't go up north. Go down south, dude. Go south. Deal with the Egyptians. I will leave you alone. I won't attack you. I will go away from Antioch. Basically, I'm being a complete coward at this point. But do I have much choice? No. I need to rebuild. I need to have a bit of time. We've had no time to rebuild. Every time I try and rebuild, we lose more settlements. We lose more core settlements. So I just need a little bit of time. We'll see if he accepts that. It's not a great offer. My offer is basically, hey, do you want a ceasefire? I can't offer you anything, and I have a very, very pathetic army that you could easily defeat outside your territory. I'll move it away. And also, can I move my massive armies through your territory? I definitely won't attack Mosul. That's my offer. Put in the comments below, would you accept that offer? I don't think many people would. And on that cliffhanger, we will end this episode. Does Historical Gameplay accept this amazing offer that I have given to him? I mean, who wouldn't accept this offer? It's an amazing offer. Who wouldn't, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if he accepts the offer. So next time, we'll see how Historical Gameplay responds. We will see what happens to our two big armies going towards Mosul, and we will see what happens in our newly formed Armenian Empire. Yeah, we're basically not the Principality of Antioch anymore. A little bit embarrassing, but look, I'm sorry ADG Reviews, but look, at least I didn't do as badly as you. He actually lost all his territory before me. So the difference between me and him was we were both doing badly. He was doing badly against the Egyptians. I was doing badly against the Seljuks, but I was innovative. Okay? Modern problems require modern solutions. And my solution was Armenia, the answer to all my problems. Let's just go and take that and we'll hide out there like cowards. Basically, I was more of a coward. He was more brave to the end. But hey, I'm alive and he isn't. So there we go. At least I haven't come 5th in this hot seat, so it could have been worse. Anyway, enough trashing my opponents, enough bigging myself up when I'm in 4th place. Let's see how we do next time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you around.